This is the Manga Xanadu Manga Dome podcast. I am your host, Laurie Henderson. Join me on this journey into the world of manga, where a river of reviews flow through caverns of commentary down into the latest news. Welcome to the Manga Dome. Episode 39, 2013 in Review. There was no manga released, so no wish list again this week. But I don't really need to add to my overflowing bookshelf, do I? I've actually been trying to reduce my pile. This year, as sort of a New Year's resolution, I'm going to try to reduce my reading pile and read more. I'm starting with the Yen Press title, Sumomomo Momomo. I've had the last half of the series at the bottom of a pile for over a year now. I'm going to try to work through these older titles while trying to be a little more timely with the newer ones. I said that last year too, though. We'll see how long I can last. VizManga.com update. Over at VizManga.com, it's the same old for the week of December 25th, 2013. A new title sits at the top again as Cross-Managed Volume 4 debuts at number 1, pushing back Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 10 to number 2. Skip Beat Volume 22 falls back 1 to number 3, while Nisekoi Volume 6 moves up 1 to number 4. Gimmick moves up 3 with Volume 6 coming in at number 5, while Demon Love Spell Volume 5 holds on at number 6. Naruto Volume 63 bounces back up 3 to number 7, as One Piece Volume 69 falls back 4 to number 8. Bleach Volume 58 debuts at number 9, along with Kaze Hikaru Volume 21 at number 10. There are some interesting debuts on the list this week. Cross-Managed jumps to the top spot, showing the love so many U.S. fans feel for it. The same can be said for Kaze Hikaru, a title with a small but loyal fan base, as its appearance on the top 10 shows. Bleach's debut is a little disappointing for a title that is supposed to be so popular. It just barely squeezed in. 2 titles debuted on Viz Manga this week. Saint Seiya is a battle manga from the 80s that exploded at the time everywhere but here. Its debut in the US was met with the same indifference despite being Fujoshi bait and having some great fights. It is about Seiya, a boy who has trained since he was small to win the Pegasus cloth and become a protector of the reincarnation of the goddess Athena in the form of Japanese girl Sayori. While he starts out competing with his fellow Bronze Knights, he soon joins with 4 others as they battle the forces of darkness and other Greek gods to protect their goddess. If you haven't read this title yet, do yourself a favor and start now. Volumes 1 and 2 are available now. Whistle is a sports manga about soccer. It follows Sho Kaze Matsuri, who wants to play soccer but is banned from his school's team for being too short. He changes schools, but things don't work out at his new school either, so he drops out of school completely to work day and night on making his dream of becoming the best soccer player he can come true. Whistle follows the more traditional sports manga themes, but with the title also being rated for all ages, it is one soccer fans of any age should check out. Volumes 1 and 2 are available now. The New York Times Bestseller List. At the New York Times Bestseller List, Christmas brought back some older titles. For the week of December 28, 2013, only one title can stand above the rest. Attack on Titan Volume 1 holds on to number 1. It is followed by Attack on Titan Volume 2 at number 2, while Black Butler Volume 1 moves up 4 to number 3. Attack on Titan Volume 3 moves up 1 to number 4, while Blue Exorcist Volume 1 returns after an extended absence at number 5. Attack on Titan Volume 9 moves back up 4 to number 6, with Maximum Ride Volume 7 moving up 2 to number 7. Fairy Tail Volume 33 falls back 4 to come in at number 8, as does One Piece Volume 69, falling back 5 to number 9, and Naruto Volume 63 falls back another 2 to end the list at number 10. Kodansha and its Titans still dominate the list with 4 volumes, most of which are in the top 5. Black Butler proves its perpetual popularity as it holds out for another week. The return of Blue Exorcist Volume 1 is a little surprising, but it must still be gaining fans despite its slow release schedule. I think the tightening of the little shonen circle at the bottom is kind of amusing, but One Piece has made it a whole month on the list. Woohoo! 2013 in Review. 2013 is now in the rearview mirror as we go speeding into 2014. But 2013 was by no means an uneventful year. more digital manga, surprise hits, and surprise closures, but through it all, manga managed to have an up year. One of the year's big surprises was the rise of Attack on Titan from Kodansha Comics. The title premiered to mixed reactions and was named both best and worst manga at the SDCC panel, but the fans didn't care what the critics had to say. The manga continued to climb both the New York Times Bestseller List as well as the Nielsen Bookscan, reaching number 1 on both. Volume 1 alone has been on the New York Times list for 29 weeks, most of which was spent in the top 5. Its popularity has led to the licensing of all 3 spin-off manga by Kodansha and the light novels by Vertical Inc. Another trend we saw was more publishers starting to release titles in hardcover deluxe editions. While the practice has been nothing new for Vertical, they have had a lot of success with their release of Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin. Yen Press has also had some success with A Bride Story and Therme Rome. This year, other publishers started to experiment with it as well. Viz Media and Kodansha stepped into the waters with hardcover editions of new titles Sunny and Vinland Saga. Presentation, price, and content speak to manga fans that are growing up and out of these shonen quick reads to something more substantial. I hope this trend continues in 2014. Publishers continue their expansion to the digital domain. Digital manga publishing, which has been getting its titles out onto as many different platforms as possible, took the next step by making their manga available in different ebook formats to download on their eManga website. Viz Media got its titles onto more platforms with Kindle, iBooks, Google Play, Nook, and Kobo. Kodansha let go of its proprietary iOS app and released both old and new titles on Kindle, Nook, and iOS. 2013 was also a year of beginnings and endings. Sparkler Magazine, an online-only magazine that features manga, prose, and audio stories, saw its debut. It features stories geared toward a female audience, but with an emphasis on intelligent, capable leads. It can be enjoyed by anyone. Stories are serialized and available for free monthly, with subscribers being able to download new content and view the old online. Also debuting this year was the concept of the all-you-can-eat manga streaming, with Crunchyroll's partnership with Kodansha. Starting with 12 titles, both licensed and unlicensed, all chapters are available to read for one monthly price, and all newest chapters are available day and date to read for free. This is what people hoped J-Manga would be. Speaking of J-Manga, the site shocked everyone in March by announcing it would shut down by May. No one saw that coming. Its streaming by volume model made a lot of people upset that they were losing titles that they bought with no option to download or keep them. Also announced quietly but abruptly was the end of Yen Plus, Yen Press's digital anthology magazine, after a 5-year run. It wasn't really surprising, as the magazine had been in steady decline for the last year or so, with no new titles other than YA adaptations of Hatchet properties. Also not surprising was the closing of Square Enix's awful manga site. It was poorly conceived and even more poorly managed. There was no mourning for this end. On a personal note, I was sad to see the Manga Movable Feast end. It was a celebration of manga through genre, creator, or title that moved around the manga sphere. It started in 2010, and the last feast was held in August. It was a great motivator for me to try out titles I probably wouldn't have otherwise. I miss it already. Kickstarter was another trend that seemed to gather speed in 2013. With DMP having several successful campaigns with Tezuka titles, others tried their luck with differing results. Kansai Club, an unknown publisher, kickstarted the Tezuka title The Crater, which surpassed expectations but has had nothing to show for it to date. Manga Reborn was more modest, with its funding of 10 titles to be distributed digitally. Gen Manga tried to kickstart a physical book of their title, Sorako, but fell very short of funding. Questions still linger about publishers' involvement with Kickstarter, a conversation that will no doubt continue in 2014. A trend that I like personally was publishers using more social media. While most can be found on Facebook and Twitter, and some are even active on those platforms, it's the interaction that's been going on Tumblr that I've really enjoyed. Vertical, Seven Seas, and Kodansha have not only created Tumblr blogs, but have been very active and candid with fans. Vertical has always been candid, but Seven Seas and Kodansha has really been reaching out and talking with fans about licensing. All 3 publishers have been doing their best to answer questions, mostly about the likelihood of specific titles. But what I think is really great is the way these publishers support each other. They will reblog each other's posts and will reiterate answers to questions so that the word really gets around. I like seeing the companies work together rather than compete against each other. Manga publishing is a precarious business. I'd rather see publishers build each other up than tear each other down. Manga saw an upswing in sales this year, the first time since the bubble burst in 2008. Publishers are growing, but are more selective about what they think will sell. While that may mean not all the titles we want will come out, I'm heartened to think that it means we will be seeing the best that manga has to offer, which can only be a good thing. Here's hoping that growth continues in 2014. Thank you for listening to the Manga Xanadu Manga Dome podcast. You can find links to the stories and books discussed here in the show notes at manga.jdragononline.com. You can email me with any questions at xanadu@jdragononline.com or leave a comment on this post. Rate me on YouTube and follow me on Twitter at Manga Xanadu, all one word. Until next time, farewell from the Manga Dome.